Okay, guys, let's get four more drafts in here. I'm getting sniped left and right when I pick a quarterback before I pick the players, I can tell you that much. In this draft here, I took Lamar Jackson towards the end of this round. Did that because I was hoping that I could get Mark Andrews to fall in the fifth. And Mark Andrews actually does have an ADP of 53. I had Trey McBride available. I think there's also another tight end that was available. Yeah, Kincaid's available and Pitts is available as well. So I figured even with four people, even if two of them take tight ends, Mark Andrews still has a chance to fall to me right here. See it happen, of course, but now that I'm the one that tried to do it, it didn't happen. So not gonna get Trey McBride on this one, unfortunately. What are we gonna do instead? Because of that, I had two players that I queued up, and I had James Cook first and Keenan Allen second here. And I was gonna go Cook, just because I was thinking, I'm probably gonna go with like a quarterback from one of these teams, maybe as my number two quarterback if they come to me. So getting Allen and then not stacking him, I don't know if it's my favorite thing or not there. I mean, I'll do it, of course, but uh, I didn't want to rely on it. So like, you know what? We'll take Cook here. I'm not really taking it. I haven't taken either of these two players in many of the drafts that we've looked at, so either one would work out fine. Um, that being said, I think we can go Allen, and the reason we're going to go Allen is because I got sniped here uh, on Mark Andrews, and so we're gonna play it similar to I have in the past and see what happens. We're gonna we're gonna play this assuming Mark Andrews gets hurt and Isaiah Likely was the player that you wanted. Isaiah Likely is going. Where is he going at? Obviously pretty low. Isaiah Likely is going here at 171, and so that would be. Let's see, I get him a little early, right? Pick let's say I've been taking right here 164. Pick 14, round 14 or 15 is where I'm taking him most likely. Watch Bateman's probably around that same place. Let's see. Because I'm hoping to just kind of stack with some late players. 177. Okay. So I can go get him at 164 and then Bateman at 173, hopefully. And it makes sense because uh, if I want to get both of them, I'd have to kind of take one of them a little early, depending on how those ADPs work out. So that actually kind of works out even better as I'm looking at it. So with me getting Likely, who likely isn't going to play a whole lot unless there's an injury, um, I, I, I think I want to make this a three QB, a three tight end build. And I've done this before in a sit and go or two where I figured out like who was going to be my anchor tight end, and it wasn't going to be like a stud anchor. It's going to be like a middle tier type of guy. And if I go Keenan Allen and then I get Cole Kmet, um, and then maybe that justifies getting Caleb Williams as my number two QB as well, possibly, or at least makes it an option. And if I get Cole Kmet as my number one, I get someone as my number two, whoever, and then Likely there as well. Likely either my two or my three. And so that's my three-headed tight end monster. And I think that makes a lot of sense here on the team. And because of that, we're going to end up taking Keenan Allen here with this pick, trying to build up that. We're doing this all for the tight end play, hopefully, is the reason being. Also, Romaduzzi is in play as well, and so we'll see if we maybe get him as a part of a stack too. So it's going to be like everyone but the top tier player essentially stack possibly in this build. So Keenan Allen, welcome to my team. Boom, there we go. Got our anchor running back. We got our unstacked, hopefully later to be stacked. QB, and then we got a week 17 correlation right here, and then we got the start of something else going on here with Chicago. Also, JSN maybe is in play at some point in time, or Tyler Lockett's in play at some point in time. Actually, as I'm thinking about it, part of my three-headed monster definitely should be Noah Fant. So there you go. Those are my targets for my three tight ends are where are they? Cole Kmet, Isaiah Likely, and then Noah Fant. I like it, and that maybe works out because if I take Isaiah Likely at 160, where was it? 160. Take it there. Then I take Bateman here, and then at 188, what's Fant's? Oh, Fant, 188. No, Fant was 188. Oh, wow. It was meant to be, actually. Okay. So we'll see if that can work. But No Fant has been rising up boards, I guess, a little bit too, from what I've heard. But I think that is a good three-headed monster at tight end to go with this build. So we got Keenan Allen now. We'll figure out what we do next. Next one up, we have no one in the queue right now. But this one is another one that I've been thinking about a lot. And wasn't even sure what to do on this one. So Chase and Higgins, so I got a Cincinnati thing going on here. And I feel like something took place that I didn't want to happen, or maybe not. Let's see here. Anthony Richardson. No one was really taken that I needed. So I'm kind of at a crossroads on this one a little bit. Based on ADP, I got some. Oh, that's okay. So what I was hoping when I took McBride here, I was hoping that one of two things would happen. One would be that a running back would fall to me, which there weren't many options, but none of them fell either. So wah wah. And then the other one, which probably wasn't going to happen, but would have been interesting. Maybe not on this one. So yeah, I was just hoping a running back would get to me, I think is what I was hoping. Look at how far Andrews, look at this. He got Lamar Jackson and Andrews here. I couldn't get it around this turnover here. So who knows what's going on with, my luck in some of these. But anyways, on this one here, we have our Cincy thing building out. And then we got we got four wide receivers. And we got our tight end that dropped pretty late here on this one. And so what I think we want to do with this one, because is maybe try to get Murray and Burrow, not at 67, but at 78. So a little early on Murray, and then hopefully Burrow falls 91, which is very possible. I've seen him fall further, but with my luck and people falling, it hasn't been happening. So we'll see what happens. I mean, falling when I need them to fall. McBride fell, and so if we do this and I get two QBs here, that means that right here at 102 is where I can start, playing the field a little bit. Now, at 102, that's already what round is that? That's round 9. At 102, that's when some interesting. I won't have. I'll either have one running back now or no running backs, depending on what I do. At 109, 109, 102. At 102, that's where some interesting things pop up on the boards here, as far as Jameson Williams, or sorry, Javonte Williams, Spears, Trey Benson to go with a potential Arizona stack. A little bit further down, you got Chase Brown over here as well. And so I think I am going to be hammering running backs like hardcore at this 102 and beyond point, which means that if I don't take a wide receiver right now, then I'm only going to 4 through 10 and not 5 through 10. And I think in that fifth wide receiver is important to this build because while it's going to look good now, we know what's going to happen later on. This, by the way, 3 week 12s and 2 week 11. So not going to look pretty in week 12 on this one. We kind of knew that, I think. I think we might even talk about that. So basically, I need another wide receiver now. And because if I don't, it's going to look bad when I get to like round 10, 11, 12, and I still haven't taken my fifth wide receiver, or I miss out on some of the running backs I want to get that. So basically, we're going wide receiver on this one. I was considering actually like taking George Kittle as well, but again, that also like I'm like, okay, if I want those running backs later and I want to get a bunch of them, maybe I just take a tight end now. But that doesn't work either because if I take the tight end now, then I still end up with ugly, like volume wise wide receivers. If I take my fifth one right now, then I can feel good and like wait until the end to get some more wide receivers. Maybe get some Arizona wide receivers and some Denver wide receivers to for this Cincy Denver game type of thing in week 17. They're late, and I can also get like Gesicki at tight end also. So this one here, we're going wide receiver. Now the question is which wide receiver we go in. And you can see that based on rank, I got Worthy actually at the top of my queue. And I was very close to choosing to click him. I was trying to find something else. Deontay Johnson would be fun, but he's week 11. I don't need more of the same weeks, also considering I'm going to be targeting the QB here in a moment, Kyler Murray. I don't want to be stacking any more week 11s on top of everything. And then that kind of leaves like Roma Dunze here, Addison right here. Those are all possible plays. These are players that I think I'm going to, if I ever don't take these wide receivers like this, these are the guys that are in play because they're going later than what I expect them to go at. Because they should be in play for me over and over again whenever I want to have something like that. And I suspect that once I maybe put some more drafts in and I don't have like the first through fourth pick, that these players might end up on my team a lot more. I'm going to go with the player that hasn't ended up on my team at all. And somehow he didn't even end up in my ranks. I don't know what happened when I imported things. But we're going to go with Rashee Rice here. He's going pretty darn early in these. And because that I've missed out on him, and all my potential Peyton and all my stacks with Patrick Mahomes. So we'll get them unstacked here just because there's nothing that really kind of correlates in a way that I like. And again, we need that wide receiver. So it's just which one are we going to take? I think Rashee Rice is a fun one here in that we have at least 3 to go to start and Chase, Olave, and Higgins. Neighbors maybe starts out fast, maybe starts out slow, who knows? And then we got Rashee Rice. So the one thing that I'm not super digging on this one is having Rashee Rice, who might have a suspension, and then Neighbors, who rookie might take a little bit of time to get started. I'm hoping that Chase, Olave, and Higgins can rock it out to start. And then as I take some guys later on, maybe one of them, along with Neighbors, just kind of fills in that last spot. Maybe Rice doesn't get injured, or suspended, or maybe Neighbors starts off fast, which is also a possibility. They don't really have any other players to throw to. When I go by rank here, again, Worthy kind of has the same problem as Neighbors, except his ADP is much further. Johnson, again, week 11. I don't want that right now. Roma Dunze, same problem as Neighbors. And that kind of gets me all the way down here to if I wanted to get something else like Jordan Addison or Hopkins, right? Like or Watson. Watson might be an okay play also, but I mean he's right there. He's not too far, but like Watson might be the other play possibly if I wanted to go with another player. Got me considering it now all of a sudden, like which one makes the most sense here on this team. I mean, Watson could make more sense on this one. Who does Green Bay play in week 17? They play Minnesota in week 17. Um, that's interesting, actually. Which one should I go with? Should I go with one of these two right here? Watson or Rashee Rice? As we talk about it, makes me think about it a little more. Which one is the, so they're, what are the bye weeks? 6 and 10. I think Watson's an interesting play. You know, he's had the hamstring injuries. They're supposed to be taken care of now a little bit, right? So that might not be a thing. Rice has got his concerns in that he's got a lot of other targets now in um in Kansas City, and who knows if he still gets the targets because of that. So those are questions that we should be having with this. As we go through it. But it makes it a lot closer which one's the right one for my team here. Where do they play in the final? Like, is there like a playoff thing that I should be looking at maybe for this one that I'm not aware of? Take a look and see from a playoff perspective. We got Kansas City, who is playing Cleveland, Houston, Pittsburgh. And then we have Green Bay, who's playing Seattle, New Orleans, Minnesota. Um, if that Green Bay game is away, that wouldn't be good, right? Like that'd be. Let's see here. I have a couple other things that I've. But as far as teams that are interesting teams to look at. Okay, that Packers game is in a dome. That's at the Vikings. So that's a dome game in week 17, which is intriguing. While the Chiefs game is not in a dome. This is riveting. Going through this, maybe for you guys, the one person that's watching it, they're playing Pittsburgh, and so that's probably not the greatest game for weather conditions. It could be, at least. I know we're predicting things that are like way out there in the future. Wow, this is a tough one. Who do we go with here? Do we go with Rashee Rice or Christian Watson? They both have target concerns potentially. Also, Green Bay plays the Vikings. Todd Chandler will be a potential bring back in that game late for me with like how I'm going to be getting a bunch of running backs during that time on this team while KC is playing Pittsburgh. I'm gonna miss out on the running backs, miss out on everything on that one. And do we want to really be betting on that game? That's interesting. I feel like Rashee Rice is the obvious play, right? Just because of ADP. Christian Watson might be the better play though. We're gonna skip this one. Go back to it. Maybe we'll think of something else by the end there. Okay. Speaking of Pittsburgh running backs, we got Jaylen Warren right here queued up on this one. We do have Xavier Worthy right here. Look at this. We got Higgins on this team too. Do we have Higgins on this one? We got Higgins on this one. Do we have Higgins on this one? No, we don't have it. We got Higgins on two of the three teams though. This is a team where I just took Jaden Daniels, and then on the way back, I was hoping Warren would be there, like Warren or one of the running backs would be there, and one of them is there. This guy took Dobbs and Zach Moss. Zach Moss was also an option for me because I had Higgins, so it was kind of like whichever running back got to me. It was cool. We're going Warren here. I like Warren in this pick because I mean, not only is it past ADP, I think he's worth more than this to begin with. But then he correlates, like we are just saying, with week 17 with KC here. He's also more of the pass catching guy out of the two running backs. So you're hoping that big things happen. They got a pass and they throw it to underneath the Warren a lot because they can't do a whole lot else. And then he racks up a lot of points that way as well. This one's simple. We're going Warren here. We're crossing our fingers that maybe a running back falls to us. I'd love to get Brooks just because I think he's a fun click. Who knows if he goes up or down in value, but it's going to be a long time. I'm not going to get him probably. But that being said, a lot of these teams have two, if not three running backs already. So there's a chance that he makes it back, a slim chance, but there's a chance. But I'm really hoping that I get another running back value on the way back. I think that's possible. Maybe even like Javonte Williams, just because I haven't gotten him at all. So it'd be nice to kind of get him on a team. And Denver is playing Cincy, so there's that right there. There's a couple different plays, but this is oh, did I have who's my tight end? Kelsey and then Kittle. I got the bully tight ends on this one here. I feel like that's you hear a lot of people talk, I need my two tight ends by whatever. And I don't feel that way, but as I'm looking at these drafts, I'm like, that's like the easy click to do, I feel like. So I did it in this one. I don't feel bad about it on this one, but I want to try to find reasons not to do it as opposed to reasons to do it. We're going Jaylen Warren here and really thrilled about this pick, basically. Is he best on based on ADP? He is. There we go. Love it. Draft. Okay. Next one here, we're at the turn. The first pick in the draft, I took McCaffrey again, just again, based on ADP. I was really hoping that Kirk was going to fall to me because then that would give me an excuse to build up a Jacksonville thing, something that I'd like to do a lot, and I just haven't done it all. And so I just need to be more mindful, I guess, of Kirk maybe and figure out how he fits into things. Because I think if you don't get Kirk, it gets harder to do that with just like Ingram or definitely just Brian Thomas. Like, I don't like that. So I feel like Kirk's the one that's going to drive a lot of that. He doesn't have to. Evan Ingram could as well, but I think Kirk is the one that I would like to drive it with because I'd like Kirk and Ingram and kind of play something there. Or Kirk and Brian Thomas, or maybe Evan Ingram and Brian Thomas makes sense as well, but I think they kind of go around the same time, which maybe makes it a little tougher. Maybe not. He goes 73. Brian Thomas goes 88. So that's actually a possibility as well. You play, Ingram has all the underneath catches, and Brian Thomas has all the deep catches, and then Kirk is just kind of doing his thing, but isn't running the show. That's a possibility too. Um, Unlikely, but a possibility. Okay. Um, it, I feel I'm not digging what we're gonna do here. Based on rank. Oh, I'm looking at only wide receivers. T. Higgins and McBride, and then we got McBride and Higgins again. Yeah, based on ADP as well. Um, Nothing that stands out. Like there's no Detroit players there. Tampa Bay plays Carolina in week 17, I think it is. Let's take a look here really quick. Tampa, yeah, Carolina, nothing there. And then Miami plays Cleveland, nothing there either. I was kind of hoping the two players, that had a chance of falling were like Kirk or Cooper. And Flowers was kind of, but he usually doesn't fall here, but he was falling some. This is actually really nice right here. Houston and Baltimore play each other. The only problem is they'll have the same bye week, week 14. So he's going to be in a little bit of trouble as far as week 14 goes. Also, not that you need it, but he missed out on Jackson. Stroud could come back around, though. I'm glad this guy took Mahomes. I opened up more stuff from here. I don't want to even consider taking Mahomes again. I got too many unstacked things, and this would just be another one probably if I did it. Unless Hollywood Brown's available. I guess I would do it. I would do it with Hollywood Brown if he was available. Of course he is, right? So, oh well. We're going with T. Higgins and McBride. That's Higgins on 3 out of these 4 teams. So I'm very heavily invested in Higgins. Kelsey. Oh, look at this. Higgins McBride on this one. So I got 2 Higgins McBride teams. So this is Chase Olave Neighbors. This one is, okay, 3 totally different players. So it's not like everything is the same, which is nice. We're going McBride and Higgins. And feel fine about it, but just a lot of Higgins again. Okay. McBride and Higgins. Well, there we go. And then he can go with another wide receiver or something else. What's the best available now based on ADP? It's a tight end. So I kind of had a feeling he'd go Kirk here because if he doesn't care which tight end comes back to him, he can, pick the wide receiver that he wants. While if he took the tight end, there's less wide receivers to choose from, which means he might end up with something he doesn't like. So I think obviously that's the right play, not obviously, but I think that's the right play for him. Also, Kirk was the best ADP, I want to say, out of all the players available too. I was just hoping to get Kirk, but didn't happen. Oh well. Okay. We're back to this one right here. Again, we got Rice and Watson. We got 25 minutes left. Coming down to the end of the clock here. And should I be playing this for early on? Watson has a chance to hit early on, and Watson still has a chance to hit late too. And if Watson is good with his hamstrings, does he end up getting targets consistently, especially the like red zone targets and everything like that? Also, if I get Watson here, if things go funny, that does open up a Watson, Musgrave, Love stack on this team if I want to do it. And it helps me hit earlier. I think like, I don't think Rice is going to hit any more later on than Watson. It's just that Rice is going to be out for the beginning. I think it's just more a question of which one of these players is bringing it at the end of the season. That's a tough question. I feel like if I didn't have Neighbors on the team, then I definitely go Rice. With Neighbors on the team, is there a reason to go Watson instead? Is there a reason to go Watson instead? At the end of the season, I assume they're hoping that this is tough. Do I just go with the ADP value, or do I reach for Watson? I'm not sure which one to do here at all. Rice was going in the second round before the draft and before the suspension. He's going second round or third round. And if he wasn't suspended, I think people still think he'd go like in the third round or fourth round. Well, Watson, he's not going to be, like, I guess he could move up, but the chances of him moving up are slim. Like, he's probably locked in there for the most part. I mean, not slim. Depends on what the preseason, all that kind of stuff. But there's no news that's going to drive him up. If Rice's suspension is given and it's like 6 games or 4 games, he probably moves up as well in ADP. I feel like Rice is probably the pick here. I got at least 3 wide receivers that are going to be there at the beginning. Neighbors could also hit at the beginning. And if we're talking about the end of the season, lots of smart people think that Rice is the pick overall out of these two. Again, if you know my ranks, I got a bunch of players above them. It's the simple thing would just be to take one of these players. But I think these players I'm going to be getting later on more. And Rice, I don't know how much more I'm going to get. Like, I don't know when I'm getting him. Because I haven't gotten him at all. I haven't really even considered him a whole lot. But he makes sense on this team a little bit as far as just needing a wide receiver right now. Okay. I think we talked ourselves into getting the player that the smart people are on, at least, or people that I think are maybe the smart people. I hope are the smart people, and taking Rice here. And then hoping that I got enough firepower with everything else. I'm going to then go wide receiver, QB, QB. Then we go, most likely, I mean, if everything goes according to plan, running back, running back, running back, maybe another running back or a wide receiver. Then it's on to other things, right? Running back or wide, maybe something else, maybe another running back. But we're gonna go with a lot of running backs. As I say that, it makes me get worried. So that's why we want a wide receiver right now, because just visualizing how this draft works out. If I don't take that wide receiver now, I'm going to feel horrible if I end up going running back, with the QBs in between all the running backs in this pick. Okay. I did see Rice fall in the other draft, the one where this one was the one that I had that I took Mahomes and I just no, this is the Jackson one. I don't know if that was one of the drafts that we had. No, you didn't get to see it. I had one where I just missed out. Was it this one maybe? No. Okay. There's one where I just missed out on Ray Rice. Um, he was taking one pick before me, and that was one of the ones where I had Mahomes unstacked and I wanted him. And he actually fell very far. There's a chance. Um, we're gonna go with Rice. We're gonna hope that we're gonna go. Yeah, we're gonna go Rice. I think we're gonna go Rice. Just because again, he might get harder to get later on. Watson probably is going to stay around that spot for the most part. Smart people on Rice saying that he will move up. He should move up. He's a little bit higher on DraftKings and other sites, but I think there's still expectation that when the news breaks, he'll be a fourth rounder instead of a sixth rounder, or maybe a fifth rounder instead of a sixth rounder. So we're going to take Rashee Rice. Not happy about it, but we know we need a wide receiver. And this one makes our team the most exciting, I guess. Overall, with it, we don't need Watson. Gosh, as I think about it, I'm like, okay, I might get Watson instead. Musgrave, where does Musgrave go? He'd be a great second. Tight end 151. See, that sounds nice. And then I can get I'm not going to get JSN on this one unless things go funny. I mean, he's 93. I get Musgrave. Do Green Bay plays? Oh, Minnesota. Um, I don't know why I said JSN. Tight end, running back. Down here, somewhere down here. Ty Chandler, 145, right? So he's kind of in that. And then Lloyd also is an interesting play here too. Okay. I think we're going Watson is what we're going to do on this one. And I don't know if I like it. I feel like if I get that one person that watches this, they're going to flame me for it. But I think Watson makes, wait, can I get both of them? 151 running back. They don't always go based on the ADP perfectly, but 148. So it's like one or the other as far as that goes. And I'd go Lloyd before I go Ty Chandler, but they're both good picks overall. So if we go QB, QB, running back, running back, running back, 126, 139 would be tight end. Luke Musgrave. No, 139. I mean, I could go running back or wide receiver here. And then, oh, that's the thing. I have to kind of reach for one of them probably for the most part. Whether it's the tight end at 151 or the running back at 148, right? So they're kind of like right in that same pocket. So I reached for one of them a little bit. But if I look at my running backs, I have Lloyd ranked higher than some of these other guys that are going before him. So it makes sense. Okay. I think we're going Watson here. Helps ensure I have four hopefully good wide receivers to start. I think late in the season, either one of them could be the player. Watson is in a dome against a team that is supposed to like to throw in Minnesota, rivalry game too. So hopefully they air it out and take it seriously. And I can correlate this at the end and grab other Green Bay Packers if they fall to me, where Rice is just kind of sitting there doing nothing if I get him. Okay, we're going to reach a little bit. We're going to take Watson here. Is what we're going to do. Rank. Yeah, where's Watson? Like Watson's right here at 73. So I'm taking him a little bit. I think he makes sense on this team if we think it all the way through on what might happen. Maybe I'll learn not to do that. Okay. Find me in the comments. We're going Watson. We're going Watson. Boom. We did it. Woohoo. Okay. The Patrick Mahomes guy's probably happy that where's the Patrick Mahomes guy? He's right here. So there's a chance that he ends up getting Rice. I'm paying it forward, trying to help him get his guys by me. Hopefully they pay it forward, right? Also, but that's the 4 drafts. Let me know what you think. See you on the next one. Peace.